Welcome to Star Citizen. What would be the best vehicle to upgrade your starter vehicle to? Of course, I'm talking about the two most standard starting vehicles that you may have bought your game package with. And now that you want to upgrade, what vehicles should you consider? Since the starter pack ship may be the only one, well, most players own, and might want to upgrade it, what should it be? I'm gonna keep in mind here one very simple thing. So we would want our starter ship or starter ship upgrade to be a ship that could fill most roles, be really flexible. So the first, simplest and maybe even the best upgrade would of course be Aegis Titan Avenger. This ship is simple, compact, has firepower and offers you a place to stay overnight. It's a good fighter with a decent setup even as its stock loadout for taking out bounties or just fighting against other lighter ships. It is slightly bigger than most single-seated light fighters, but this ship does offer you a bed, inventory space, and you can enter either from the back or straight to the cockpit. Inventory is pretty big for this kind of a small ship. You can store several weapons and even several sets of armors in here if you truly wish to. Now, there is a little tight space where you have your bed, and ahead is of course the cockpit. And if you manage it just right, you can bring yourself a hover bike onto your little trip if you truly wish so. Next up, we have the CO Nomad. This is also pretty big. It's a lot bigger compared to the Titan Avenger, and it does offer you bigger living area and bigger storage, but it is also a bigger target. I personally call it the Pancake, although it is a beautiful little ship that has lots of space. It does have 3 shields, which makes it quite formidable for a ship its style. It's meant to be something bigger than a light fighter, and something, I guess, smaller than a medium fighter, or at least less effective. It is actually one of my favorite ships, although I wouldn't really try to use this ship in combat. It's a big target. Now, it does have more shields than your standard light fighters, but it's also somewhat of a bigger target. Now, it is actually quite maneuverable compared to its size, although I wouldn't hope to win any turning competition against the single-seater light fighters that are dedicatedly meant for fighting other ships. The ship itself is pretty roomy inside. You can store a lot of things on this ship. I can take on my full set of armor and still I would barely fill 2%. You have a pretty big bedroom, and you also do have a back room up here which has a closet and I guess you could call it an outhouse on the other side. It is pretty roomy and it is one of those ships that feels like it's meant for that solo player who wants to go and explore. And of course it has a pretty big storage area. Upside or downside, consider it what you will, you can't access your ship, or you can't really enter your ship from the storage area. It is a separate part of a ship which you can access from outside. And for my third option, I would pick Drake Cutlass Black. This is the biggest of the 3. Because of that, it's also quite sluggish and slow. It does have most amount of firepower, but then again, it is pretty big, it does have an extra turret on the top, and it is really slow to turn compared to the 2 previous ships. It's not really a fighter, although it is considered a medium fighter. I wouldn't use it as that. At best case, a support fighter. Although in general, I believe it is still considered a dropship, a vehicle carrying ship. It's not really too big, but it does offer you some comforts of life and some space to do whatever you wish to do. Its inventory is the biggest. You can really bring a lot of things in here. Armors, weapons, you can pretty much clear out a bunker, anything you wish into this ship. It will still most likely have some space left over. And of course it can easily fit a vehicle. Although maybe if you park correctly it can even fit 2. The big downside for this ship is that the only entrance is in the back and it's your big cargo bay door. The ship does have a couple of extra seats for your dropship purposes. You also get some weapon racks, beds, closets and, well, entrance to your turret. These are just 3 of the ships I would consider upgrading my starter ship to. As you can see, there kinda was a team. The idea was to have a ship that would be able to carry some boxes, maybe carry some cargo, to be able to sleep in, to have some inventory space in, and maybe in a way to feel like an explorer. There are of course other better light fighters, or fighters in general. There are better cargo ships, there are better ships for exploration. There are plenty of teams in this game for different ships, but these were just what I would consider upgrading starter ship to. There is no wrong option here, even keeping your starter ship. But these 3 are the ones that I would really consider for whatever scenario you might need them. This was just my opinion. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with upgrading your little Aurora MR into Gladius or Constellation or something. But this is what I would consider something that I would like to have in reserves just to keep it safe, just to have it there. Anyway, thanks for watching.